Welcome back to the Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the founder and lead investigator with Deep Woods Paranormal. I am also the host of the Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. Today we have on a friend of mine. She's been on many times. She's had many alien encounters and UFO abductions and stuff like that. She's told many stories, so if you haven't caught up on Laura's stories, please go back and into the playlist and look for Laura's podcasts. Today she's going to continue on with her stories. She's going to start out with some short stories, and then she's going to tell us about stuff that happened outside of her own house at her sister's house. So with that, we're going to bring Laura on. Hi Laura, how are you?
Hey Matt, I'm doing good.
So Laura's actually just joining us via phone because we can't seem to get her on the regular podcast for some reason. So this is going to be an audio-only podcast. You'll only be seeing me, and you can watch the fish swimming behind me if you want. So, okay, go ahead and get into your first story. Tell us, kind of set up the scenes for us, and what happened. What were you doing? Where were you at?
I'm going to start with my shorter story. So this first one is about when I was in school. So I was a child.
Okay.
And I don't think I told you about this girl. Her name was Kathy. I still remember her name to this day. But she was just strange to me. And when in my class, I'd say I don't know if it was every class, every grade I was in, she was always seemed to be sitting close by me, especially if we were in alphabetical order.
Okay.
Because her last name was K and mine's M. But this girl, I don't know, she just she's very strange to me. Real tall, pale looking. She never talked above a whisper, real little tiny. You couldn't even hear her talk. Real tiny, oh my God. She drove nobody liked her in the class. I didn't like her either. But anyway, she told me one day that she was I don't know, she says she's watching me. She's like, I'm thinking, what? She said this to me, the one, I don't know what grade it was I was in. She said, well, she's been watching me through the years or something. I got that effect. And I was looking at her like, what are you talking about? Every time I see this girl, if she sat around me, she always had her eyes on me. And I was very unnerved by her. And I'm like, why is she staring at me? Time I look at her, she's got her eyes on me, glued on me, and I'm like, what is wrong with this girl? I don't know. But
you had a stalker.
Huh?
You had a stalker.
But get this, Matt. The one year when we would go out in the play yard and play for lunch or recess, she would always stand there like a I don't know what you call it. She would just stand there. I would watch her from a good distance. And she's standing there, and I'm looking at her, and I'm thinking, is she scanning the schoolyard? This girl is a weirdo. And that's what I thought. And I was like, is she scanning the whole yard? What is she doing? Because oh my God. Then the one day I went up to her, and I was yelling at her, and I said, you are not human. That's exactly what I said to her. I said, you are not human. I said, I don't know if I called her an alien or what I called her. She was tall, real tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, pale as a white crayon or maybe a light beige. I don't know, but she's real tall, and she didn't stand right either. Her legs from under her knees to her ankle would curve inward. If you can imagine, I'm like, how is she standing with her legs like curved from the knees to the ankle? They would be on like a, I don't know how to explain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just standing in a strange way.
I hated this girl. And one day I went up to her and I told her, I said, you are not human. I said, you're an alien, or I said something. You're not from this planet, or I said something like that to her. And she said, no, I'm human, whatever. And I said, no, you're not. I said, you're the strangest, ugliest girl I've ever seen in my. Oh my God, I couldn't stand this girl. But anyway, she'd give me the creeps, and she would always be watching me in the classroom, and I'm like, why are you watching me? She wouldn't tell me, and she would have this menacing look on her face too, like she's mad. Looking at her like, I'm the only kid in the class you're watching. What are you watching me for? I'm like, this creeps me out. She's so strange. I'm 62 and I still remember this kid. But anyway, I don't know if she had anything to do with anything. Who knows? She might not have. I don't know. But I don't know what you would
poor
think.
kid.
We had some boys staring you down in class, almost every grade you're in. What would you think?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of the same classmates, from elementary school all the way through 6th grade, and then we moved. And then about half the class from my 7th, 8th year went with me to high school. So I had a lot of the same friends for about 6 years.
Yeah, after I graduated 8th grade, I didn't go to the same high school she did, thank God. I wouldn't want that, but anyway, I don't know. Never got the truth out of her about why she was watching me. Weirdo.
Sounds like she had a crush on you.
No, it wasn't that. No, not the way she looked at me. Like, she was always mad or had this mean look on her face. I'm like, what is your problem?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, okay. Fast forward to when I lived with this man. His name was Douglas. He's not alive anymore. This was like 35 years ago. And I met him when I had to take a cab. He was a cab driver. I had to take a cab for my daughter's first doctor's appointment after she was born. So she was about 3 months old at the time. And when I met him, he kept staring at me in his cab, and he gave me his phone number. And I don't know if he asked me out. I don't remember what it was, but he just gave me his number. And I was going to throw his number away when I got out of his cab because I really wasn't interested in men at that point. So I was going through some stuff with my daughter and what happened with that whole situation. But anyway, I kept his number, and I ended up calling him, but it was after a year. I let a year go by. Kept thinking about him. I don't know why, but then I called him.
Did he pick up?
Huh?
Did he pick up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he did. He remembered me too. I was like, I don't know if you remember me because I met you like a year ago. And he's like, oh yeah, I was wondering what happened to you. And I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to go out with him or not. I was debating it for a year. I was like, should I or shouldn't I?
Yeah.
But anyway, I went out with him, and we dated and all that good stuff. And then I ended up living with him. And after about a year living together, we were at home and we were talking, and he said something to me. I couldn't believe he said this. And he said, when I got in his cab that he had recognized me. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, when I was a teenager, I was like 8. He was 18 at the time. He said he was, him and his friends were on, I lived in Ohio. He was at Euclid Beach with his two friends. And he said he remembers me because he thought he was hallucinating, and Lake Erie was right in front of him. And he said he saw this he had a huge vision of this woman coming towards him, and he saw her face, and he said it was me. And I said, okay. What are you talking about? And he said, I don't know if it was the mirror one or if I really saw you. And he said that I told him, when I came towards him, so I came only so far, and then I stopped and I talked to him, and I said, hello, Douglas. I knew his name and everything.
Wow.
And I told him, I said, you don't know me right now. I mean, you're seeing me as an adult, but I'm a child right now. And I told him I was a child at the moment, which is true, which I have to tell you, it goes on to the story. And I told him, I said, you're going to meet me later in life, and when you meet me, you will automatically recognize me. I won't recognize you, but you'll recognize me. Huh. And he was like, he thought he was hallucinating or something. And I don't know if I said anything more to him. I can't remember if I said anything more. And then he said I retreated and I went back and I faded away or disappeared or something. Crazy. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. I was like, I can't believe you just described a dream I had when I was about 10 years old, I think, 10 or 11. Wow. And I remember it vividly because I was flying, I don't know how to explain it, like going over the Lake Erie, the ocean, I don't know how to explain it. The lake was underneath me and I was moving in the sky forward until I saw him. Yeah. And then I stopped and I said, I said, I can't believe this. I said, you just described, I remember this dream because it scared me because the Lake Erie was underneath me and I was like, what the heck's going on? I thought that I was I don't know what was going on. I thought I was going to fall in the lake or drown or something. And I told him, I said, I had a dream. I went over Lake Erie and I saw 3 people on the beach. I said, you were standing up and your 2 friends were behind you, right? Sitting down? And he said, yeah. And I said, yes, I remember you. I remember this was a dream I had. And he said, how could you have dreamed that? And I saw you literally in the sky. I said, I don't know. Then he tells me, after he says this, he says, you're a star person. And I said, what are you talking about? I said, what do you mean a star person? And he said, you're not from this planet. And I said, what? I was like, where are you getting this information from? He said, because when he saw me in the sky, he didn't think that I was from here. Yeah. He thought that I was from somewhere else. And I was like, how could I be not from this planet? He said, I don't know. I just think you're not from this planet, that you're from somewhere else. And I was brought here. And I was like, well, as a matter of fact, something did bring me down to this earth. And I don't know what. I don't know. I have no idea what it was.
All right. So sorry about that. So go back to where you were talking about. I apologize. We had the phone drop, guys. Pretty sure a ghost just knocked that straight down between my legs, all the way up to the back of the wall. So,
oh my God, that would scare the heck out of me. I don't know how you deal with.
I'm just getting used to things moving on their own, especially in the paranormal office with all these haunted dolls and haunted objects and other stuff. They were enjoying using this ghost box, which you can't see right now, but they were enjoying using the ghost box earlier, and I guess I shouldn't have turned it on because now they're like, hey, we want to talk. So, okay, sorry about that. So, continue on with your story. You were talking about how you were basically talking about he had seen you kind of in a vision or whatever. So
yeah, he saw me in a vision. And I told my daughter this, and my daughter said that I must be really powerful. And I say, I'm not powerful. I don't have any power in this. What do you mean powerful? She's like, well, for you to appear to him. And I said, yeah, I appeared in a dream. I don't understand. It was a dream for me, but it was reality for him. So explain that. I don't get that right there. It really happened, and I thought I was dreaming that.
Yeah.
But because it was at night. I was in bed and everything. So I thought it was a dream.
You projected yourself out onto, somewhere else.
I don't know how.
It was almost
how did I do that? I don't know. It was just
almost like a psychic connection, almost, where you're able to a psychic projection, where you were basically able to, even though you were dreaming. What do they call that? Where you can project yourself out, and other people can see you. It's almost like remote viewing. You were almost like remote viewing, but you were physically there.
Out-of-body experience. I've never had an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, I don't know if it's out-of-body, especially if they could see you.
At one time, he was seeing me, and I was also laying in my bed, and I was, So how did I do that? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's very strange how that happened, but yeah, it's very strange.
Isn't that called like being bilateral, like being in two places at one time or something?
Well, no, like I said, projecting yourself out. You essentially projected yourself out to this whatever location it was. You're basically projecting
as soon as I went to bed too. As soon as I lay down, I started dreaming this.
And that you can separate. If you believe in this, and I don't know if people, everyone believes in this, because we have everybody from skeptics to people who believe, who are knowers, to people on the fence and stuff that listen to our podcast and watch our podcast. So, if you believe this, it basically is just kind of like a projection of yourself, where your soul leaves your body and you go and explore. There's theories that does happen with certain people.
That's the only time that's happened in my life. I haven't been able to do anything like that again.
Well, yeah, it's dangerous when you do that, when you basically leave your body and you go and explore. I recently had an experience where I saw something I'd never seen before, and I was in an area I've never been before. And so we'll get into that in a different podcast. But anyways, it's very interesting. So continue on. You guys got together, and what happened?
That was about all he said. He believed that I was from, not from here, but I don't know why he didn't elaborate, and I should have asked him. Oh, he didn't know where I was from, but I don't know where he got that idea that he thought I was a star. Well, I guess because he saw me in the sky like that, he thought I wasn't from this planet, and I'm like, then where am I from? And we're like, well, we didn't know, and I wasn't thinking about aliens or anything, but I take that back. I did have something happen at his house when I was living with him.
Really? What happened?
I had one incident happen. I can't remember if this is before or after we talked about what I just told you when I appeared to him. But the one night we were sleeping, and I was awake. I was almost just about to fall asleep, I think. And our bedroom door flies open and hits the wall, and it was loud. This big, huge bang, and my daughter was about 3 years old at the time, I think, and I thought she would wake up. She didn't wake up, and he didn't wake up. He was dead asleep in bed, because he had his back towards me when he was sleeping. I was looking at him like, that didn't wake you up. The loudest bang you could hear in your life, and nobody wakes up. And I'm like, why is he waking up?
Right.
And I look at him like, well, he had his back to me, but I looked at him like, I don't know, I just thought it was strange and funny. But anyway, Matt, I'm laying there, I'm facing the door, and the closet, I'm facing where the door opened, because I saw the door fly open, and I'm laying there, and I kid you not, this is probably I don't know how many times I've seen these aliens. These two little 3-foot alien creatures come walking in the room.
Wow.
And I usually don't see them that, when I'm awake like that. I had to think really hard how many times I've seen them in my bedroom. But not too many. They come walking in, two of them. And one went down the left side, because our bed was on the right side. We had a big, huge water bed. Too big. Cool. But anyway, the one, it was, the door was to the left side, so he went down the side and went to the right and stood like at the front of the waterbed a little bit. He was standing there, and the other one was standing like across from me when he came in. They come in, and I'm thinking in my head, not again. And I'm like, oh my God, why did I just think that? Not again. The heck am I thinking that for?
Right.
I look at him, and I'm looking, I'm thinking, I must be dreaming. Of course, I chalk everything off as a dream. And I'm like, I must be seeing things. These things look like aliens. No way. I'm wrestling with this in my head. And I'm like, no, Lord, you have to be dreaming. You can't really be seeing these things. It's like, no way.
Right.
What would they be doing in my bedroom? What would they want with me? Why? Where do they come from? And what the heck do they want with me? I ain't nobody,
Right.
But anyway, they tell me to get out of bed, and I'm like half asleep, half awake, and I'm like, okay. So I'd get out of bed, and I'm standing there, and they say to me let's go downstairs or something, and I'm not thinking anything. I'm like forgetting they're even there. So I go out to the hallway, and they're behind me. Okay. So they're behind me. We go down to the steps. I go down to the steps, and I turn to the left because you have to go down. Well, we could have. There was this other stairway we could have gone to on the right side that would have led to the kitchen, but I went to the left, which led to the living room. So I turn down and go down the other steps in the living room, and I'm standing there, and I black out, or so I don't even know. I don't even realize they're behind me. I have no idea what happened after that.
Huh.
And then all of a sudden, I wake up, and okay, because when we came down, I was facing the coffee table. So when I come back, and the coffee table is now behind me, and I'm standing there. I wake up out of nowhere, and I woke up, and I'm like, what am I doing down here in the living room? And I was just like, oh, I don't know. So I just nonchalantly walked back upstairs and lay down in the bed. I didn't even close the door. And I lay down in bed, and then I get up in the morning, and then Doug gets up, and he turns around, and he's like, how come you didn't close the bedroom door? And I looked at him and I said, I closed the bedroom door when we went to bed. I said, I don't know why it's open. It was wide open. I said, I don't know why it's wide open. I didn't go to the bathroom. I have no idea. You didn't open it. I didn't open it. Nobody else opened it.
That's strange, yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I don't know what they did.
That's creepy.
I don't know how long I was gone, but I guess I was gone probably a good couple hours. Easy, I'm sure.
Wow.
No clue what they did.
Right.
Anyway, I can't remember if that was before or after he told me about the vision he had of me. I don't know if this happened before. I think it happened before. Oh, and I remember. I told him. I said, I had a dream about aliens last night. I told him that at dinner time because I remembered something, and he said something smart like, "Oh, do they have sex with you or something like that?" And I was like,
"Oh boy,
I don't know. I don't remember what happened, but I remember dreaming about aliens." And he just thought it was funny at the time, and I'm like, I don't know if it was real or not, but it seemed like it was real to me.
Yeah.
But that's as far as that went. I didn't tell him that they came in the room, and I should have told him. I didn't even tell him all that.
You might have felt violated, or
they're joking about it. And I was like, I don't know what they did. They could have done anything to me. I don't remember. These aliens, they could be doing anything to you. My baby sister Gail, she's like, oh, I wish I could get abducted. She's jealous because I'm an alien abductee, and I told her, and I was like, Gail, you don't know what these aliens can be doing anything, just about anything to you. You won't remember. I said, it's not all peaches and cream.
Right.
She's like, oh, well, she's jealous. She's like, why were they taking you your whole life and not me? And because she has the rare blood type. I was like, I don't know. I said, you don't remember anything strange ever happening to you through the years? And she said, no. I said, well, sometimes they abduct people and they don't even know they're being abducted. They've been abducted for 50 years and they don't even know it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's probably the best thing, to be honest with you. I mean, imagine, I know the trauma that you've gone through, and just having to remember all this stuff, and you know, the scary things that you have encountered. You know, imagine all that coming back to you all at once or something. You know, I mean, that'd be, I would imagine that'd be pretty traumatic.
Full of things that happen, because they've had to be taking me thousands. I say thousands of abductions. Because the one thing I remember that one alien said that they did at least 235 procedures on me, which is another word for surgery or operations, or I don't know what they're doing. And I was like, 200. I didn't see them. I heard them in this incident when he said, "Oh, how many procedures have we done on her?" 245, and the other one said, "No, 235." And I was like, "Oh my God!"
That's,
He was at least experimented on me. 235. That's at least 235 abductions right there. And I was thinking, what?
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Oh, I didn't want to think about it. I was like, oh my God, I didn't want to think about what you're doing to me, or what you've done to me, or.
That is creepy. Yeah, that's just creepy. It really is. It's just, yeah. Anyways, why don't you continue on with your next story?
Okay, the next story is it's a short one, but this is when I was in my 30s, and I was living with my kids. It's just me and my kids. I had two. But anyway, the one night, I don't know what was going on. I don't know how I slept through this, but I kept feeling like something was burning me through the night. This is through the night. Now, I don't know if these aliens were in my room, or I don't know. I have no idea what was going on, but I couldn't wake up, and I was trying to wake up because it kept feeling like somebody or something was burning me. Jeez. So I wake up, Matt, and I kid you not, I had like, oh God, I don't know, over a dozen like, I'm trying to think, it's 6-7 inch like welts on my back. I don't know if you call them welts, but they were black. They were black and they were long. They were all over my back. I woke up to this, and they were like almost like open. And when I got up, I was like, my whole back was, I was just in such pain. And I looked in the mirror, and I was shocked, and I was like, oh my God, they look like they were black. They look like burns. And I was like, what the heck is this?
Probably, it
was all over my back. I don't know how many.
It was probably burnt. It was probably dried up blood underneath the skin. Were they a
dozen of them all over my back, long. I don't know if you call them welts. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I mean, well, they probably look like scratches. Were they scratches?
No, they did not look like scratches. They were long. They were like in what do you call it? Like I say, in my left shoulder, there was one going like to the right angle. Was like 6-7 inches long. They were long. Then there'd be one going on there would be one on the other shoulder going the other way, and then there would be, different ones in the middle going all different, like all different directions. They were all long, and they were like kind of open a little bit in the middle.
Were they in sets of threes, like 3 finger marks?
Nope, they were all over my back. They were in different, I don't know how to explain it, but they were all over. They were not in like in a row. They were like, say there was like one on my left shoulder, one on my right shoulder, then there would be one going across like the top middle of my back, then there would be one going like down the other, you know what I mean? They were just all over.
They were random?
What do you mean random?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
I don't know. And what kills me when it happened, I never went to a doctor to have it checked. I don't know why. because these were on my back for more than a month or maybe a month and a half, or I don't know why. And I went to a doctor.
Wow.
I was like, oh, let me just suffer with these burns on my back. And that goes, I don't know why I didn't go and find out exactly what they were.
Yeah. So I was looking for demonic. Usually with demonic attacks, when you get scratches, it comes in like threes, like 3 finger marks, like somebody takes their fingernails and scrapes it down your back, usually in a pattern, and it usually goes away after, sometimes minutes or hours or even days. Sometimes they last up to days, but not months.
No, there were a lot of them. There were at least over 10 of them, and they were not in a 3 pattern like that. I know what you're talking about. No, it didn't look nothing like that. They were all, imagine long, like, I don't know if they're considered welts, or I don't know what the word is for them.
Was it almost like you got dragged on the ground or something against some kind of rough surface?
No, I felt this burning all night when I was sleeping, and I was trying to wake myself up.
Wow.
Like, I don't know if I was moaning in pain. I might have been in my sleep because it burned. I'm telling you, my whole back was burning all night, and I'm like, who's burning? What is burning my back?
Jeez.
No. And then I wake up, and I'm like, what? What the heck? Where did these come from? How did these? Oh my God, this drove me nuts. I couldn't figure out who did that, what did that. Like you take a poker stick like you use in a fireplace, one of the poker things.
One of the hot pokers,
with like a hot poker. Except these were long. These things on my back were like 7-8 inches long each. They were real long, black burns. They were black. I don't know. That
sounds exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like something burned the hell out of you.
Yeah, I don't understand who it was, what it was, and what was the point of doing that. I don't know.
Weird.
The house I was in was not haunted, as far as I know. I didn't see anything when I lived there.
That's crazy. I mean, I've heard a lot of paranormal stories, but that's a new one on me. Yeah, I mean, I've seen demonic attacks. I've seen, I've been subject to my own demonic attacks, but I've never heard of anybody having, like, burn marks like that on their back. I'll have to look that one up. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I never heard of that either.
Yeah, that's crazy. Would have been interesting to see if maybe they were some kind of radioactive waves, or radioactive burns.
I didn't have cancer because I never had cancer in my life. So I'm thinking, no, I couldn't have been like a symptom of cancer. I don't.
No, not a symptom of cancer, but something from.
If I got cancer, it would have made me sick within a month. I didn't go to a doctor. I don't know why I didn't get checked out. That was dumb of me not to have that checked out.
Well, sometimes when they go to look at landing sites where UFOs have been, there are radioactive waves or radioactive energy left behind. So that's why I was saying maybe it was some kind of radioactive something or other. Maybe, they just you got put somewhere that had radioactive material or something like that.
Yeah, something could have happened, and I don't remember.
I just
remember feeling like there was somebody in my room, or 2 people in my room, and they were doing something to my back. Because I felt like there was somebody there. I felt something while I was sleeping, and I couldn't open my eyes. I tried to open my eyes all night because I wanted to see what was going on. Jeez. But I couldn't, so...
Yeah.
Kind of mad that I couldn't open my eyes up.
I mean, that could have been so traumatic that your brain just has completely, shut it out. But you do remember waking up to it, and it might be a good thing that you don't remember what happened, because it might be super scary to find out what really happened. So
yeah, I probably would with a lot of these incidents.
Crazy. So what else happened to you?
The next one, I don't know if I told you about the elevator incident. This is a quick one.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, this is the one where I think this happened in Hawaii. I got Well, speaking about burns on my back, this one I got burns on my head. So, and I showed my daughter. I had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, I don't know, about 10 burns on my head, my scalp,
jeez,
under my hair. And I don't know anybody. I heard one other story on a podcast of a man who had burns on his scalp too, under his hair. And I was like, oh. And he's like, I've never heard anybody who's had the same thing I had. I'm like, listening like I have, But anyway, you don't know me. But anyway, but this incident, I was thinking, they had to be reading my mind or something.
Or had some kind of. It sounds like they had some kind of device on your head or something. I wonder if they had some kind of device attached to your head, or maybe even they seared down into your skin so it could get close to your skull or something. I wonder if they were trying to read your brain waves or something.
Well, I believe they were doing that, but I think the burns came from because at the time I used to wear my hair in a ponytail, right? Mm-hmm. I'd wear my ponytail up high on my head, and I believe part of it was because when I remember laying on this table, I was sleeping, but I felt somebody pulling my hair. I kept pulling my hair, like I'm thinking, who's pulling my hair? I could feel this in my I don't know. I must not have been that asleep, but I was thinking, oh, I think this alien didn't know how to put my hair back into a ponytail. And I also I had 3 burns on my, 4 burns on my forehead. I had 3 or 4 round red dots up on my forehead. And I looked, I was like, Laura, look. I was like, this is from the aliens. She knew it was from the aliens. I was like, look, 4 little red dots right up high on my right side of my forehead. Like, where did those come from? Jeez. I got them in the morning. I look in the mirror. I'm like, what is that? And she's like, I said, something happened last night. Every time something happened, I would tell her. And I was like, Laura, I'm surprised you don't think your mom's just loony, crazy. She believes everything I would say. And then she'd see evidence, and she's like, what is that? Well, you got 4 burns on your forehead. I said, I have like a dozen more on my scalp. And Matt, they took 6 years to clear up. 6 years.
Wow.
And
that's
they were
insane. Did you ever get pictures of this? Bad. Did you ever get any pictures of these?
No, I don't think I ever did. Okay. Yeah. But they burned too. Oh. They would itch, and I would peel the skin off of them because they would like the skin would like try to like, I don't know, like like when you get a scab on your leg if you fall. Yeah. The skin heals over, it would do that. Oh my God, these things drove me nuts. But why I think that I know this thing. They tried to put my hair back in a ponytail because when I woke up in the morning, and my ponytail was usually almost right at the top of my head. My ponytail was now like right in the back of my head at the top. It was right in the back, though. It wasn't at the top. It was moved back. And I was trying to take the rubber bands out of my, I don't know if I had 3 rubber bands in my hair. I don't know. I was trying to take them out, and I'm like, Laura, these rubber bands are all tangled up it took me like a good 10 minutes. It doesn't take 10 minutes to take rubber bands out of your hair when you have a ponytail. It only takes you maybe 30 seconds, okay? This took me, like, I could not get these rubber bands out of my hair.
Jeez.
I'm standing there fighting with these rubber bands. I take them out. I finally get them out of my hair, and the rubber bands have hair all, what do you call it, mixed into the rubber bands. It was like a big glob of hair. I never have like globs and globs of hair mixed in with the rubber bands. They're all tangled up. That's why I couldn't get the rubber bands weren't in right. They were all twisted, like 3 of them, and then there was all kinds of hair. That was, that's why I had a hard time getting the rubber bands out. I showed my daughter. I said, look at this. I said, my rubber bands, they're never twisted like this, and they never have, like, there was, like, 20 pieces of hair in the rubber band, you know what I mean? It was just a mess. And I was like, and then I was remembering, and after this alien got my hair in a ponytail, then there was another one on the right side. They woke me up. This is what I remember. They woke me up, and I sit up, and I'm like, feel like I'm drugged or something. I don't know. Maybe they drugged me. I don't know what it was. But I sit up, and I'm like, me. Like, I was like half awake, half asleep. And I see this alien standing there. He was like, right in front of me. I wasn't scared of him or nothing. It's like I knew him or something. And he goes, okay, get my clothes on. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Where you get my PJs on? He's like, oh, we like you because you don't wear anything to bed. At the time, I just wore a long PJ shirt and my underwear. I don't wear nothing. This, I don't know if it was wintertime or what it was, but they're like, oh, we like you because you're easy to, get undressed. I guess they were talking. And so this alien hands me my clothes, and I was like half sleepy, and I'm like, yeah. I wasn't even scared of him or nothing. It was not computing what he was saying at the time. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay, it's weird. But anyway, I remember I get off this table I was laying on, and I follow him because he told me to follow him. So I go and I follow him, and we go to this open elevator. I remember this. Get on this elevator, and I guess we were going to go down. And that's all I remember. I remember the other alien was standing there. The alien that did my hair, he was standing there. He was like in a white cloak. I remember he had like a white, I don't know what you call it, just like a white thing from, like priests wear, like a dress. It wasn't a dress though, but it was pure white. But he was tall, real tall alien, probably like 8 feet tall, maybe even taller. He's kind of scary looking, but I didn't go near him. But anyway, we went on this elevator, and we went down, and after that, I blacked out. I don't know how I got home. I don't even remember how they took me at the time either. But I vividly remember that.
Wow.
I don't know how I remember some of these. I get these little snippets of memories. And they're vivid too, but like I said at the time, I thought all of these were dreams. So, but after I moved to Hawaii, what happened at my sister Joanne's? Remember I told you what happened at my sister Joanne's?
Yeah.
That was too real. And I even said to my nephew before I went to bed, I said, I hope nothing weird. I said, I hope nothing happens tonight. And
you jinxed yourself.
Son of a gun, something happened.
Yeah.
And I told my nephew, I said, I wish you were a girl, because if you were a girl, I would let you sleep in bed with me in case something happens. He was like, damn it. I was like, yeah, you can't sleep in bed with me, darn it. Because I wanted him to, wanted him.
Yeah.
He was mad because something happened right under the roof of his house, and he missed the whole thing. And he's pissed about it to this day.
Crazy.
But anyway,
all right, well, talk to us about what happened to your sister's house.
Oh, you want to go there? Because I was going to tell you what happened with this other. Did I tell you the incident about what happened where I thought I was on the moon? Did I tell you that one? I don't know if I told you that one.
I don't remember. Go ahead and tell it again.
I can't remember if I told you. Okay, this one, I have no idea how old I was at this time. I didn't write anything down, so sadly, I think I might have been in my 30s. I don't know. But, what happened with this incident, this is a good one. Told my sister Gail about this too. Or I told my daughter too. I end up waking up, and, of course, on a gurney again. I'm always on this gurney. I'm laying on this gurney, and there's an alien behind me, by my head. He's behind me.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I told my sister, I said, all I saw were like a billion stars, like they were right there, like they were like maybe 100 feet above me or something. They were like right there.
Dang.
And I told her, I said, I don't know if I was on the moon. I said, you're gonna laugh. Okay, yeah. So no, I told her about it, and I woke up and it just looked like to me like I thought I was on the moon. I don't know where I was. That's what it seemed to me.
Wow.
It didn't seem like I was here because of the stars were way too close. They were just right there.
Dang.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying I was on the moon, which is crazy. And my sister's like, they took you to the moon. I said, I don't know what planet I was on.
There are theories that, aliens possibly have, moon bases. Who knows?
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, I've heard about that. I believe it. I bet they are on the moon.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it wouldn't be far-fetched because the moon is not far from here, for one thing.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, when I was laying there, it was dark. It was real dark. But when I was laying down, I saw it was towards maybe catty corner to the left of where I was laying. I actually saw this UFO. It was round. It was big. It was just sitting there. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that can't be a UFO. I was thinking this in my head. I was like, there's no way. It looks like a UFO, and it looks like I'm on the moon. What the heck is going on? I was awake, too, because I woke up. And I'm like, this can't be a dream. But I wrote it off as a dream, like I did it, I don't know why, like I did everything else. But I saw this alien standing in the doorway of this UFO. There was something standing there. But there were also a couple of aliens standing at the end of my gurney, too. I was surrounded by them. And I was just thinking in my head, what the heck? Where am I and what is going on? So anyway, I'm laying there, and this alien tells me to turn my head. So I turn my head to the right, and I see I don't think the moon has bushes and the shrubs and stuff like that, but that's what I saw. It was 10 feet away from me, and I'm like, the moon doesn't have trees or shrubs I'm like, what the heck? But anyway, in between all these, I saw there was I don't know, 3 or 4 little bushes standing there or something like that. But surrounding that, I saw there was, I think, 6 or 7 aliens standing there.
Huh.
They're either 10 or 12 feet away from me. They weren't that far away from me. I'm looking at them, and I'm thinking, don't come near me. This is one thing in my head. Do not come near me.
What were they doing? Just standing there looking at you?
Yes, they were all men. They're all male.
Wow.
And they were wearing something black. I don't know if they had black cloaks on again or what it was, but this is the strange part, Matt. When I looked at them, they were half human and half alien in the face, right?
Yeah.
Get this. The alien part, half of them was on the right, look alien. The left part of their face, they look like me. They look just like me. I looked at them like, why do they look like me? Then the alien that was standing by my head told me that those were my children. And I said, no way. I wouldn't accept that. I was like, no way. They're not my kids. They're not my children. What are you talking about? And he said, yeah, those are my I was like, oh my God, don't even. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, the human part of them look just like me. I said, well, they half look like me. But
right.
their faces were split, and I'm like, wow, I've never seen that. Half alien. I said, oh, they didn't come out right. Half alien, half human face. That
wow.
was Yeah, that was, and they were moving weird. They were moving like they're floating like a little bit, like they couldn't keep still. They were like they looked very strange. They looked alien, and they didn't talk or anything. They just stood right where they were.
Oh,
and
I did it again. I knocked the phone off that time. That was me. Okay, so keep going. And what?
What'd you say?
No, keep going. And what you were saying?
Well, after that, I don't know what they did. I don't know if they took me back in their ship. I don't remember. After that, I think they took me back. They just wanted me to see that. That's all I remember out of that. But
Crazy.
What was vivid were the stars. It's like I gotta be. There's no way I'm on the Earth. I don't know where the heck I am. Because I was like, wow, I've never seen a star so close.
Dang.
Like they were almost going to fall on top of me. That's how close they were. Like I swear they were like maybe 100 feet up.
Right.
They were right there. I've never seen it. Billions of stars. I was looking at. I'm like marveling, like, wow, where the heck am I? What's going on?
Where did you take me this time? Yeah. All right. Well, tell us about your sister stories, and then we got to end this because it's getting a little long. We're almost at an hour.
Okay. My sister Gail's. What happened at her house? What the strange part about is when it happened, we didn't talk about it for the next 30 some years. We didn't discuss it, which I don't understand that at all. And then I told Gail what happened. Well, what happened was really strange. I don't know if this had anything to do with it. She lived in this house, and she had this one room, little tiny room that was painted black. And I asked her, I said, Gail, what is this strange room painted black? And she said, oh, the people who used to live here used to do devil worship in this room. I said, oh, my God, what are you doing in this house? This little room to me was spooky. It was right off the living room. Little tiny room, all painted black. Looked like a little closet or something. And I don't know if it had anything to do with that, with what happened to me. But oh my God, this room was just so creepy. I said, Gail, you shouldn't be living here if there's a room like this. If someone was doing, worshiping the devil or who knows what they were doing.
She's like, congratulations, you're sleeping in there.
What'd you say?
I said, congratulations, you're sleeping in there.
No, I was sleeping. Okay, the room was on the right-hand side.
I know. I'm just joking with you. Okay.
Yeah, I was sleeping close to it in the living room, which is right on the left side to this little room. So anyway, the one night I go to bed, and what was strange, we both said, we were just talking about aliens and stuff, and for some reason UFOs, and my sister said, yeah, sometimes they do surgery on you or something in your bedroom and leave all the blood on you, get all kinds of blood on your pillow. And I was like, oh my God, I would, I would hate to, if that happened to me. I said, oh my God, that would just scare the heck out of me. She's like, well, that's what they just heard this. I was like, yeah, I heard that too. So anyway, we go to bed, and I was laying on her sofa. At this point, I was staying with her because I had just broke up with Doug, and I just had a child by him, and he was almost a year old. He was like 9 months old, and he was in his bassinet at the end of the sofa, and my daughter was on the other sofa in the front room, so we were both at the left side. It was at the left side of the wall. Trying to paint a picture here, but anyway, I go to bed, and all of a sudden I feel like there's somebody in the room. There's somebody in the house, and I didn't know what was going on, and I said in my head, "Who's here? Somebody here?" And they answered me, and they said, "No, there's nobody here." And I said, "Yes, there is. You just answered me." I said, "Who are you?" I'm like, what the heck's going on? After that, they were quiet. They wouldn't say nothing to me. But I knew I felt somebody was in the room. I think they told me to go back to bed or something. And the whole night I was on edge. I was so asleep, but I was jittery. And I was trying to open my eyes once again all night. I was trying to open my eyes, could not open my eyes. I was so mad because I said, don't do anything to my son, my baby. I said, don't touch it, don't touch my kids.
Right.
Oh my God, I was so terrified. I don't know how I slept, but I don't think I was really asleep. I was I was too nervous, and I couldn't wake up, so I couldn't make myself up.
Yeah, sleep paralysis
until
maybe.
Finally in the morning, it was in the morning, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock, my eyes just opened up out of nowhere. It's like they were sealed shut or something, you know? And so I get up, and I told my sister this years ago, because I never told her what happened. I said, there was something in that house that night. And she said, you're kidding. I said, no, there was. But anyway, I get up, and I don't know, I didn't tell her anything of what was going on at night. I don't know what they were exactly doing. But she gets up, she comes into the living room where I'm at. Then, I kid you not, Matt, she goes over to my daughter, who was laying on the front sofa, right?
Uh-huh.
She walks over there, and she says, oh my God! And I said, what? What's going on? And she goes, oh my God, look at this. She picks up her pillow, Matt, and it is full of blood.
Oh, Jesus.
And she looks at me, and I look at her, and I said, are you kidding me? We gave each other this look like, what happened? She's like, oh my God, Laura, are you okay? She woke up. She was fine. And almost her whole pillow was covered with blood. And I'm like, how could she, if they did something to her, how could she lose that much blood and be okay when she woke up?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only time that has ever happened. And me and Gail said nothing. She took the pillow. I don't know if she threw it in the garbage. I don't know what she did. We said nothing after that. I can't believe we didn't say. We just gave each other this weird look like we were just talking about this, not just, just yesterday. Yesterday, we were just talking about this.
Sometimes when traumatic events happen, and maybe she's been abducted too, maybe it just hit her as, okay, this is normal. And, and you too. I mean, you both probably have experienced something like that before, so it was more normal for you guys. And also probably was extremely traumatic, especially seeing something happen like that to your daughter. I mean, I can't even imagine if I had kids. I'd be really upset. I'd be trying to figure out a way to blockade my house. Okay, y'all get tinfoil hats tonight. You're wearing one. You're wearing one. I'm wearing one. Yeah, no, I mean...
I was thinking, do you think they might have switched pillows? Because I was thinking maybe they did something to me and put the pillow over by her, but why would they switch pillows?
Who knows?
It look like they were doing something to her when they were really doing something to me. That's what I was thinking, and that's what I thought in my head for years.
I don't know. I mean, usually
it makes sense to me.
From what I've done, I've researched on people that are abducted. It's usually... if one person in the family is abducted, usually multiple people from that family are abducted, and it continues down the line. I met a mother that had 2 kids that have very similar stories. That she was abducted, and then she had multiple babies that were taken from her, and then it went down the bloodline as she had kids. Her kids started getting abducted, and she stopped getting abducted. And then it started in with the sister's kids, and they all had stories of being abducted, and they didn't want to talk about it on a podcast or anything. They wanted to keep it secret, so I won't reveal more information. But it seems like that's kind of what's happened, and everything I've done research on with alien abductees, which I've only done a few, because every time I do anything...
It's always good for people to tell their story, because they could be giving someone information, that you never heard about, or they could have had the same thing happen, or they could have new information that nobody's heard of.
And when you listen,
it's always good to tell your story.
Tell
your story. Tell what happened.
And when you start listening to these stories, a lot of them, I mean, they're very, very similar. This happened to me, it happened to my sister, happened to my daughter, happened to, and the stories, if you're listening to them, they're very, very common.
But I have a dumb question. What would cause them for that much blood to be on? What would they be doing for a pillow to be almost covered with blood? That's what I was thinking. What were they doing?
You know what? I mean,
my daughter was fine when she woke up. She wasn't sick.
Right. Who knows? Nothing. I mean, imagine being, 1,000 years, 10,000 years advanced of us. Maybe they can basically reproduce our blood and just put it back in, or maybe they can cause things to happen. They can probably, if their technology is so advanced that they can travel through space and possibly time, and abduct us without people even noticing, and basically a lot of people don't even remember the abductions until they wake up one day and, oh my gosh, why do I have this memory? And then they go back into therapy and start to figure out, oh my gosh, and they start to have all these memories like you did.
I didn't remember nothing until I was 47, until what happened at my sister's. Then all the memories came flooding into my head.
Right. And it's
5 minutes.
I mean, it's traumatic. I mean, imagine that kind of thing happening. I mean, I don't think they really want people to know that what's going on. And if they're interdimensional or wherever they are, if they're from another dimension or from another planet, or maybe they're just, from what I remember, watching this one guy, he took, a human head, he took a picture of himself, and he put it into a program that basically showed his evolution for 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, 1,000 years, like 10,000 years, and I think 100,000 years. But at 1,000 years from now, he looked just like a gray alien. His head had gotten bigger, his mouth had gotten smaller, his nose had gotten smaller, his ears had just disappeared, and he looked just like a gray alien. His body had gotten smaller, and basically the program was saying that he would be telepathic and stuff like that. So, I mean, like I said, they could literally be us from the future. And from what I understand, I've heard a lot of people say that talk about them, that they're just trying to save their race, and they're using humans to try and breed more beings for them, because they basically destroyed their planet, and they destroyed their
I've heard that, but that theory doesn't make any sense to me, that they're us from the future. I think that they are from the past. I think they've been there since the beginning of time.
Maybe
they've been here all along. But the thing I don't understand about them is, why are they, if they're not from here, what are they concerned about our environment and our planet? We're
imagine
the planet's dying.
Imagine
if they're not from here, what do they care?
Well, imagine if they are from the future, and maybe they're us, and maybe they're trying to go back and fix the mistakes that they made. See what I'm saying? Or if they're interdimensional, maybe in their dimension, maybe they did something different, and so now they basically are coming back here to, repopulate the planet or whatever. I've heard a lot of theories on what aliens are, and then that there's multiple. Could be all the above. I don't there's know. Multiple different species.
I can't comprehend that.
if you look at it this way, if you took our solar system, just our solar system, and you put our planet up against the solar system, we wouldn't even be a speck of dust in our own solar system. So imagine there's millions of solar systems. How tiny we'd have to have, like a whole huge microscope just to be able to see us, and it would probably look like a speck of dust. So, who's to say there isn't some kind of other intelligent life out there? And I know a lot of the people who listen are religious too, but I was listening to some guy, a preacher, actually talk about it the other day, and he I don't know why he brought up aliens, but it was pretty interesting that he said, God in the Bible, it never does say that there isn't other life forms other places. I guess he was just trying to be more open to the idea of it. But he was saying there's nothing in the Bible that says that God doesn't say aren't other life forms. He didn't create other life on other planets. So it is kind of interesting.
I disagree with him. God created everything. The Christians say that all the time.
Well, I'm just saying
so he created space too, didn't he? And he created all these galaxies and planets and stars.
Yeah.
So there's got to be life on other planets. I mean, that's not a far-fetched idea.
Yeah.
And
God can
create anything. Okay.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what he was saying. He was saying that he was saying that there is a possibility that there is life on other planets. Now he was talking to a general audience, so he was kind of being careful about how he was saying it. But
he hasn't seen a UFO. He needs to see.
I'm sure.
Real quick.
He was
aliens come out of the UFO.
Yeah, he was trying to be.
Him.
Yeah, he was trying to be, non-confrontal with people, but he was open to the idea of other life forms being on other planets, and so it was kind of interesting to hear him talk about that. But yeah, just interesting. Anyways, so continue on with your stories.
But it's good when they believe in it, It's
right.
Okay.
Let's do one more because we're almost at an hour and we're over an hour right now. So
okay, I have a short one. I haven't told you about Hawaii. This happened in Hawaii, but and Kansas. Next time I talk about Kansas, then Hawaii. I can't believe how much so many things I had happen in Hawaii.
Okay.
But Hawaii. I found out, I was there for 12 years, I found out that the Big Island is, they have UFOs, they're all over the Big Island. Hawaii is invaded with UFOs, and they don't talk about it, they don't say nothing about it on the news, which I don't understand. But I lived in Oahu, and they said the UFOs from the Big Island come over to all the other islands. And I can't even tell you how many UFOs I saw when I was in Hawaii. So they saw so many. I was so happy.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm weird. I was happy when I saw them. But this one short incident happened. My granddaughter. She doesn't know anything about me. My daughter and me. We didn't tell her I'm an alien abductee. I have two granddaughters. Neither one of them know. But she, this was strange. God, how old was she at the time? 8, 9? I can't think of how old she was now. She might have been a little bit younger than that. But anyway, she started telling us like strange stories. But one day she told my daughter that she went out of her body and she was sitting outside on the roof of the house the one night, and we were like, "What?" Like, Mira, her name's Mira. I'm like, "Mira, are you making this up, or are you for real?" She said, "No, I was outside." And I'm like, "How did you get out? How did you get back in?" I don't know. She said she was outside sitting on a chimney or something. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
So she had a disembodied experience.
Huh?
She had a disembodied, out-of-body experience?
She had a couple of them. She said a couple times she was outside flying around in the I don't know where she was or where she went. This happened to her a couple of times. And I'm like, Mira, are you for real? I said, what do you mean you were outside flying around? I said, were you physically flying with your physical body or she said, yeah, she was, I think she said it was her physical body. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the heck is she talking about? I'm like, Laura,
that's a place I call the in-between. It's in between. Huh? It's a place I call the in-between. It's kind of in between life and death, where you're basically your soul separates from your body, and you're not yet in heaven, and you're not away from your body, but you're kind of in between.
I don't know what
I had
was happening with her,
experience,
but
like
she
I
said
said
she was flying
before.
around at night, and then she
Yeah.
came back home. I don't know, and we were flabbergasted. I was like, "What is she talking about?" I was like, "She keeps saying it." I said, "It's got to be happening. She can't be making this up." And I got scared when she said she was on the roof of the house, like sitting on a chimney or something all night. And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're on the roof of the house." Because we were living in a big house. And I was like, "Oh my
Wow.
God," that scared me when she said that. But anyway, the one morning or the one day, she's sitting in her bed, and I was in the bedroom with her mom, and she's sitting there and she's saying, "Hey mom, you know what? The past 3 or 4 days, I keep hearing these little beeps and what do you call it? Oh God, I get it." She said beeps and something else. These little sounds she kept hearing outside of her window. Outside, she was hearing these little what do you call it? Like, I don't know what you call it. But anyway, she says I keep hearing this pattern of these little sounds. She kept hearing chirps, beeps, and something else. And she said, "Oh, it sounds like Morse code."
Weird.
And this kid's not even, I don't know how she was, 8 or 9. I'm like, "How do you know Morse code? I don't even know Morse code. What are you talking about?" And she said, "It sounds like Morse code to me." And I'm like, "Laura, what is she talking about?" And she's like, "Mom, can you give me a pen and some paper, and I'm going to write down these Morse code, I don't know what you call them, signals or whatever she was hearing."
Yeah, it's usually dots and flashes is what they basically use for Morse code. It's a series of beeps and then a longer beep, which is like a dash, and then basically you can tie that into the alphabet.
Yeah. Get this, Matt. I don't know if she looked it up on the internet and she interpreted it. I forget how she did this. She came up, guess what the Morse code was? And I told my daughter denied it, and the Morse code was E.T., 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 and it kept going on. She's like, she didn't know what it was. She's like, this is what it is. E.T., E.T., E.T. She gave it to Laura, and I said, "Laura, it says E.T., which stands for extraterrestrial." And my daughter's like, "No, it doesn't mean alien." And I said, my daughter, she used to deny everything. I'm like, "Laura, it says E.T. What does E.T. stand for?" It said E.T., 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 E.T. It kept going on. E.T., E.T. That was the code.
Wow.
The forever code. And I said, this has got to be, what do you call it? Not a sign from them, or what do you call it? Like recognition that they're there or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
knows?
what it was. That's what she wrote down on the paper. E.T., E.T., E.T. And it kept going on E.T. That's all it was. It just E.T. when it went on. She said, "This is it." And I was like, "What?" And she didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her what it meant, but I was like, I got kind of scared. I was like, "Is this a message?" They said, "They're trying to tell us something."
Yeah.
My daughter denied it. She said, "No, it doesn't mean it." I said, "Then what does it mean?" E.T. is E.T.
Extraterrestrial, yeah.
Yeah. So what does that mean? Doesn't mean extra terrific,
Yeah.
But I thought that I don't know. I was wondering why why she was hearing it, because she asked us if we were hearing anything, and we said no, and she said I could hear it now. She said she heard it for like I don't know 3 or 5 days in a row. It was outside her window. This is during the day, and I said I don't hear anything. What are you hearing?
Yeah.
She said I can hear it. It's very low, but she could hear something. And I was like, "Well, this is really strange." And I don't know why they let her hear it. I thought that was odd, very odd.
Yeah. So there's got to be some kind of message there.
Yeah. that hasn't happened again.
That's good.
So,
All right, Laura. Well, we're about an hour and a half in now. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, but we'll have you back on for sure. Thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it and sharing your stories. I know it can't be easy to talk about all of these things and, put yourself out there, but I do appreciate you coming on.
It's not hard to talk about. I like talking about it.
Okay, well, it's kind of therapeutic, but it is very interesting to hear all your stories, and again, I really appreciate you coming on, and we will catch you on the next one.
Okay, sounds good.